What's the secret to a long-term relationship?
What makes a relationship last forever? Well, this may be some words of wisdom and advice that may help you figure that out. My name's Atherton, and I'm a medical intuitive, holistic energy therapist, and I am an educator in the healing arts. I've also been in private practice for well over 20 years, and I helped a lot of people figure this out. In the early years of our marriage, my husband and I started to have a few problems. And we were both concerned that maybe we had married too fast or we'd made the wrong choice, and we didn't quite know what to do. My mother gave me some very sage advice, and I have given this and shared this with many clients over the years. What was her advice? She said, it's important to remember that relationships go through seasons. In the beginning, it's spring. You are in the bliss of love. Everything is green, it's wonderful, and you're happy. And everything just seems to fit. And then the summer comes along, and things get a little sticky, but you're still madly in love, and everything works out. You find a way. And then the fall shows up, and things get a little bit chillier. It's a little bit harder. You're not really sure. But then the winter of your discontent shows up. And in the winter, things get very cold. And you stand back and you take a look and you wonder, why in God's name did I ever marry this person? What did I see in this person? Why was I so madly in love? And now I look at them and there is nothing. When you are in the winter of your relationship, the winter of your discontent, know that this is a time when you are growing personally. And how you handle the winter of your discontent can either make or break your relationship. So how do you handle a winter of your discontent? Well, my mother's advice was to remain silent. She said, this is not when you call up the girlfriends and tell them all your woes. Because she said, what's happening is you are growing and you are changing. You are in relationship with another human being and your needs are changing. Your wants and desires are changing. And how you look at life is changing. You are maturing. But underneath that frozen ground, the roots are still there. The seeds are germinating and you just need to wait. So be patient and be kind. Still be respectful to your partner and don't take out your frustrations on them. Don't make your unhappiness with yourself about your marriage. Realize that you are unhappy with yourself and that you are changing and you are growing. And if you do that and you can remain silent and you can be at peace with that and allow yourself to grow and change and communicate those changes to your partner, then spring comes back. And all of a sudden you fall madly in love with your partner all over again. I can say that this advice has helped us a great deal over the years. My husband and I just celebrated our 44th wedding anniversary. And I can honestly say that I have been through 4 winters of discontent in the 44 years that I've been married to my husband. The first time it lasted 2 days. The second time it lasted about 2 weeks. The third time it lasted about 2 months. But the third time it lasted well over a year. But I went through a lot of growth and I went through a lot of change. And every time I weathered through that winter and I allowed myself to change and I allowed to listen to what those changes were in me and I didn't take it out in my marriage, no one ever knew that I was unhappy. I kept it to myself, not even my husband. Because I was kind, I was respectful, I still met the needs of my relationship. We were married for 35 years before I knew that my husband had actually been through 3 of his own winter of discontent, and he had done the same thing. He had remained silent. But we grew and we changed. So now I can honestly say that this is very sage advice. And if you find yourself in a relationship, and this relationship has good bones, this is a relationship where you have both always treated each other with kindness and respect, and that we have honored each other, and that you can talk about anything, but you find that there is that morning you wake up and you think, what in God's name was I thinking? Why did I marry this person? Know that it's perfectly normal to go through this. Because just like nature, spring can't last forever. Summer cannot last forever. And sooner or later, fall is going to come, and the leaves are going to fall off the trees, and the snow is going to come. But this is when you lie dormant. This is when you allow yourself to hibernate. This is when you allow yourself to think and grow. Because spring always comes again. And remember that it's perfectly natural for every relationship to go through these cycles of growth and change.
And if you can allow yourself to grow and change in your relationship, you will find that your relationship with your partner is much deeper and more loving and more committed than it ever was in the beginning.
If you have any questions or comments, make sure you post them below and I'll be happy to get back to you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for any additional postings.